And out here getting loose, guys going through some drills. We're almost at game time, folks. Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K Sports. Can't wait to get some NBA action going. Hi everyone, Kevin Harlan with me tonight, Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. And Allie LaForce is reporting on the sidelines. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Minnesota. They're sitting 8th right now in the early going.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, they've been strong at times this season, but they still have some holes. I think they're a playoff caliber team. I just don't think they're a championship caliber team.
Yeah, and that's not a knock on them. This is where most people expected them to be. They just don't have the talent to be up there with the contenders.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. Down on the block, it's Tatum with Tatum. Pritchard and White are their guards. Here we go. And it's Gonzalez in at the 3. And for Minnesota, guard and off guard, filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. Randall and Reed holding down the post spots. And it's Anunoby in at the 3 slot. What a matchup we have tonight, Greg, in the front court. I know everyone, you and I included, have been waiting for this one.
And when you got two of the best bigs in the league going at it tonight, it's must-see TV. I can't wait to call this one, guys.
And so it's the Celtics getting on the board first. DiVincenzo can't hit it. Gonzalez with it, out-defended by Randall. Gonzalez, that's good.
Well, that's where you want to be, getting those easy money looks.
And now let's swing it over to Allie LaForce on the sideline.
I briefly spoke with Chris Finch. Coach showed nothing but respect for Derek White. He told me White is the ultimate glue guy. He's not worried about his stats. Instead, he fills in the gaps and does whatever is necessary to help his team win. He is truly an unselfish player. Back over to you.
Thank you, Allie. Here's White, following the basket by Julius Randle. Now White. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the D has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull the trigger.
Among the best athletes in this league, Anthony Edwards taking flight.
Here's White after the basket by Minnesota. Tatum wide open, he fires one. No good from outside.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Randall a screen on Pritchard. DiVincenzo passes to Randall, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Randall's got his second bucket of the game to go.
What a well-placed screen by Randall. Not only helping the ball handler, but also making some room for himself.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Reed with a screen on Pritchard. And Reed throws it down.
Showing off his power. Reed gave the dunk everything he had.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And Stan, the head coach, Chris Finch, bringing a culture of accountability to this Timberwolves team.
Yeah, Chris Finch challenges every player, Kevin, top to bottom. No sugarcoating Coach Finch's message, but at the same time, getting that buy-in that a coach has to have. And Reed is a very active player. Love seeing him be this aggressive inside.
Pritchard against DiVincenzo. Here's Tatum, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Reed with a screen on Tatum. Down low. Reed gets the bucket. 6 points for Naz Reed.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Outside, Gonzalez. Off target from outside. Minnesota leading by 3. Randall a screen on Pritchard. Over in the corner, Edwards. And the 3 off target.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And he gets the bucket.
And look, he's not the best athlete, but he's able to create the space he needs to operate.
Reed with a screen on Tatum. Reed misses.
Well, that's the look he wanted, but the defense doing just enough to impact that shot.
Edwards against Pritchard. And it's White missing. And so Edwards will bring it up for Minnesota. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Well, when you're facing a team that's feeding off the crowd's energy, you have to bring your A game. They didn't do that defensively.
Yeah, when you have a defense that's showing this poor, it's normally due to an overall lack of effort.
Austin with the ball, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Doubled by Reed. Gonzalez. That misses, had a chance to tie it there. Timberwolves leading by 3. And Edwards with the stop.
You can see Ant-Man light up on the play. Loves being in the open floor.
Outside Tatum. And another miss by Boston.
Yeah, and they're fighting to get back in this one, but unfortunately, he just keeps coming up empty.
Pass to Reed. Stolen by Tatum. White, wide open. He fires. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. White's got 5 now.
Look, shooting off the catch is something White's become really good at.
Reed with a screen on Pritchard. Driving the lane.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. For the Celtics, they come into this one following a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
And that one, I thought the guys were out of sync offensively. And on the defensive end, a failure to communicate.
Yeah, they just looked totally lost in that game on both ends of the floor. The coach is going to have some choice words for him after that one. Another miss. He is struggling for the quarter.
Now, here's Anunoby. No scoring in this one. For 3, Edwards. That one, no good. Celtics trail by 5. Gonzalez passes to Tatum. Buries it down low.
Such good play from Tatum near the hoop that time.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. So Boston ends up going with the new group. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the top rebounding teams in the NBA this season. Number 1, the Celtics.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the rankings.
Ball with it, covered by Simon. Count it. And the Timberwolves lead by 5.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Simons surveying the D. Pass to Garza. His 3-pointers off the mark. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Outside, ball. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Timberwolves.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
And I also like how they've trusted one another with the rock, creating shots by keeping the ball moving.
So, Craig, when you're in the first game of a back-to-back, how much focus slips into already looking towards the second game?
Well, from a player's perspective, not much. But from the view of a coach, it has to creep in some in terms of making sure you don't overplay your stars. Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Miller with a screen on Simon. That's good for Miller, the assist by Ball. Miller's got his second bucket.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
1:39 left in the first quarter. Simons against Edwards. Pass to Walsh. Shot clock at 5. And the Celtics another 3.
Simons becoming such a great distributor of the basketball.
And so it's Ball with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They lead by 4. To the inside. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's Simons. Still scoreless. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul. Both teams will make substitutions.
Substitution on the court.
50 seconds left in the first quarter. Three-pointer, Pritchard. They grab their own miss. Here's Walsh. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Ellis with it. Picked by Randall. And it's Ball in the corner. From the arc, it's good from long range. And now a 9-point Timberwolves lead.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
Yeah, you're seeing their offense in a flow. Now it's time for their defense to turn up the heat a little more.
And here is Simon. Pass to Pritchard. Lost it. No good that time either. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
Well, if they're going to be that ferocious inside, this defense is in for a long night.
Minnesota leading by 9. On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. We've got Peyton Pritchard. Also, Anthony Simons out there. And it's Minot in at the 4. The Celtics shooting under 40% all in all for the game. And joining us now by phone is insider Shams Charania with some news. Shams, give it to us.
Well, thanks. The Celtics this summer trading Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, a player almost a decade younger. Simons' deep threat capability is definitely a fit for the way the Boston Celtics like to play, especially now moving forward. If he can fit in defensively, he could be a long-term contributor, guys.
Yeah, he's more than capable. Okay, Shams, we appreciate the reporting. And now, Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Celtics have a great 1-2 punch with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Tatum said JV always starts the game really aggressive. I'm a naturally laid-back guy. I kind of see things out first, and then I can essentially take over when I need to. We have found that balance. Back to you.
A dangerous duo for sure. All right, Allie, we appreciate the report. Here is Barea after the basket by Boston. To the paint. Up and in on the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now Pritchard. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Nailed from three-point land.
Well, after a silent first quarter, this is who they needed him to be. This is why you never count a guy out.
It is flushed down with a nice jam.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Celtics trail by 7. Driving to the basket.
Yeah, Simons put in all of his speed to work on that drive.
Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Picked by Randall to the middle. Good, and it's Perea who picks up the assist. Randall's got 8.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. Celtics making a switch here. Tatum's checked in. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Boston. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the 3rd best record in the conference.
And you know, for the Celtics, it's been the kind of start to their season that a lot of experts were predicting. And by that, I mean a very strong start.
Yeah, this is the start they wanted to have, but their goals are much bigger. They're focused on playing into June and bringing home a championship. And
it's Simons missing. And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Inside, here's Beringer. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Berenger's got the lead up to 9 now for the Timberwolves. Simons on the wing. Edwards defending. A nice shot by Walsh.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Timberwolves have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second quarter. Anunoby in the corner. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Over in the corner, Pritchard. No good on the 3.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And Anthony Simons cut his teeth under Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, Stan. Some pretty good manners.
You aren't kidding, Kevin. And I think going up against those guys in practice every day, watching them every night, and being another guard who has to score the ball, he couldn't have learned from anybody better. And Anthony Simons now a tough guy to stop.
Now here's Ball. 6 points for him. With the drive, and Ball slams it in.
Flashing his athleticism on the drive. When Ball is attacking the rim, good things happen.
Celtics trail by 8. Outside, Simon. Tatum with a screen on Edwards. To the left side wing. Pritchard with a wide open look. Boston again missing. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Oh, here's Edwards. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City. In the corner, Tatum with it. Pass to Pritchard. Some nice ball movement here by the Celtics. Walsh can't get it to go. Timberwolves leading by 8. Here is Edwards. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game, and the basket is good.
Well, for someone who is mostly an off guard, Edwards puts up great assist numbers.
Celtics trail by 10. Outside, Simon. And the foul called on OG Anunoby. That's his first foul. Both teams deciding to change it up.
Substitution on court.
On defense, Minnesota. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. White is double. And here's Tatum for 3.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Timberwolves have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. Let's check out the leaders in field goal percentage as a team. The Timberwolves, number 1.
are just tremendously disciplined offensively, always looking for the best possible shot. That's how they've gotten that field goal percentage to skyrocket.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Pass to Tatum. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Well, you can't question his confidence from out there, but it's not falling. Maybe time for a different approach.
Simons against Edwards. 5 on the clock. And here's DiVincenzo from the arc.
Excellent work defensively. That's how you guard a three-point shooter of his caliber.
Left side, Simons. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Simons has got it back down to within single digits for the Celtics. Minnesota's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Over in the corner, Edwards. The three-pointer, no good.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
And it's Simons missing. Timberwolves leading by 8. Picked by Reed. DiVincenzo finds Reed. And Reed throws it down.
Terrific screen. They ask Reed to do a lot of the little things like that, and he does them all well.
And so Simons will bring it up with the Celtics. Stolen away. Here's Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards has some big bounce in his step.
That's a great look at that move from the Connected Cam, sponsored by AT&T. White with it. 5 points in the game. Pass to Queta. Anunoby comes with the double team. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And here is DiVincenzo. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Down low, here's Reed. Takes it off the glass. Reed's got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves.
Well, that's what teamwork is all about. Reed sets a selfless screen and ends up getting himself up.
Queta, the pass to Simons. Pass to Tatum. Simons against Anunoby. And there's Simons on the assist by Tatum.
Well, even though they're struggling, his solo efforts on offense have really been something.
59 seconds left in the second quarter. Reed with a screen on White. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. Offline with his three. Celtics trail by 12. Here's White. Off target from three-point range. And they are really racking up the assists in this one.
And their team chemistry is evident. These guys enjoy playing with one another.
And it goes down 2 points. Reed's got 6 here in this quarter.
And what a night for Reed. We see him do this once in a while. Once he gets rolling, it's hard to hold him back.
Now, here's Simon. His last outing with 20 points. Edwards against Gonzalez. Edwards, no good.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves sitting with a comfortable lead. Up by 14. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting. They've been dialed in so far from the field. And we'll be right back after this.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guess what we're starting the show with? Wow, you guys are good. Time for the power rankings.
Checking out the Celtics. The season is still in its infancy, but they've got the firepower, and they're playing with great effort.
You just want to see them stay hungry all season long. They're good, but I think they can take it to another level.
And now, how about that first half? Talk about a dominating display for the Timberwolves.
Anytime they sniff the paint, it's a bucket, and they found different ways to do it.
Yeah, their game plan gets the Shaq seal of approval. Get it inside and hit them hard.
Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. One of the stories here, Anthony Simons getting it done today.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
Timberwolves leading by 14. Hey, Stan, how about the Boston Celtics? Back-to-back 60-win seasons.
Well, Kevin, winning 50 is a great season. 60 wins is simply incredible. We have lots of regular seasons where no team wins 60. Credit Joe Mazzulla, his staff, and players for keeping this thing rolling.
Randall and Reed holding down the post spots. Guard and off guard. Filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. And it's Anunoby in at the 3 spot. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, Coach, we know there's a lot of expectations tied to a number 1 pick. And sometimes they fall flat. But that has not been the case so far with Anthony Edwards.
Oh, it sure as heck hasn't, Kevin. But I think it starts with Anthony Edwards welcomed the expectations. He wanted the expectations, and he has pushed himself to play to that level on a nightly basis, and he's done it.
And Greg, the way the floor is spaced now, how much would you enjoy playing in this current environment?
I'm lacing up my kicks as you say that. It would have been a lot of fun. But not only do you have more room to operate, defenders practically, they can't touch you.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. And good depth for the Timberwolves. It can be challenging sometimes, Stan, choosing who plays and who sits.
Well, Kevin, that's the kind of problem you want as a coach. But they've traded away a lot of draft capital to assemble this roster. Now it's about paying them to keep them together.
And there's the whistle, illegal screen.
And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Well, Jason Tatum keeping the main thing. He said there are players that get caught up in the lifestyle, and they choose that over the game. The money is a plus, yes, but I truly love the game because I love basketball, not for the things that come with it. Back to you, Kevin.
You'll love to hear it. Hey, Allie, thank you very much for the report. The 3 from Tatum. Reed with the rebound. Reed's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Randall a screen on Pritchard. DiVincenzo finds Randall, and then Randall slams it in.
Don't even try to defend that. What a move, Julius Randall.
And another look at that last play with the AT&T Connected Cam. Now Pritchard. And they're staring at a sizable deficit.
And still within reach, though, that they don't have to rush things.
Good on the triple.
Well, the defense can't lose track of him. He's just too talented offensively.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. completely new lineup for Minnesota. Here's a look at some of the stats for OG Anunoby.
The field goal percentage has spiked in the past 5 games. It's up a lot from what it had been earlier in the season, and with every game that it continues to rise, his confidence does as well. We'll see if he stays in that mode tonight.
Now here's Ellis. Hasn't made one yet. Pass to Miller. To the left wing. To the middle. Boston grabs the miss. Tatum's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Well, that one didn't fall, but otherwise they've been excellent shooting the ball to start this half. Well, they're behind, but it's certainly not because of him. He's doing everything he can. He just needs more help from his teammates.
To the inside. Here's Miller, and it's Miller with the jam.
Yeah, this is what Ball does. He calls plays to generate openings on the floor for his team.
Here's Pritchard. To the paint, and White with the stuff.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Well, that's exactly what's needed when you're trying to turn things around.
Pass the ball. Here's the screen. Inside. Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. 8 points for him.
And you gotta clog up any passing lanes around Ball, especially in that pick and roll. He knows how to slice the D apart in those sets.
Precise delivery on the pass. Led him perfectly.
And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. 17 points was their biggest margin. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Talk about timing. That lead pass was right on cue.
Celtics trail by 13. Pritchard feeling it out a bit. The kick out to Tatum. From outside, off the mark. Timberwolves have gotten 6 of their 7 shots to go down in this quarter. What a fantastic start to the half. The drive by Ball. And Ball slams it in.
And I just love the aggressiveness from Ball. When he's driving to the hoop, he's ready to attack the rim at will.
Pritchard passes to Keita. The Celtics working the ball around now. And it's White missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Outside, Ball. Power down with both hands.
Well, this is what Ball is so good at. Reading the defense and making the right pass.
Celtics trail by 17. Here's Pritchard. Pass to Tatum. Out to White. This one for 3. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Tatum's got 5 assists tonight, and timeout called by Chris Finch. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. Step back and have a look at the top passing teams in the NBA this season. In 4th, the Timberwolves.
And a team that shares the ball will create opportunities for the right player to score.
Timberwolves leading by 14. Bagley with a screen on White. It's deflected. One-on-one fast break. The kick out to Tatum. Outside, White from downtown, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
And you can tell he's looking for his shot. He just believes in it.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
Now here's Edwards. 9 points in the game so far. Love the pass to Bagley. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead by 13.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Here's White. They get it back. Here's Tatum. Takes a three. And it's White missing.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Paul kicks to Bagley. Back to Paul. 6 to shoot. To the middle. And it's Bagley. That time on the assist by Paul.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Pritchard passes to Garza. The rebound by Kevin Love. Timberwolves leading by 15. To the inside. Here's Beringer. Nice pass. Right into the rack perfectly for the layup.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Walt. A three-pointer off the mark. Garza no good. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. And a look now at the Boston Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Sunday, they'll take on Evan Mobley and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then on Tuesday, they'll be matching up with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks.
And for the matchup with the Lakers, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that
team. Well, we know Edwards has an outstanding skill set, but what makes him truly special is his competitive will and ability to handle high-pressure moments.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Minod's checked in, and Sam Hauser subbed in for Tatum. And Edwards drops them both.
Well, you can tell this team looks to Anthony Edwards to set the tone on the floor. His intensity becomes their intensity, and let me tell you, his intensity is always high.
That shot wide open. Walsh has got 9 points.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Simons against Ball. And here's Edwards from the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. Ball's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Here's Walsh. 9 points in the game so far. 1:32 left to play in the third. Simons, the pass to Hauser. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
At one time, pretty much just a three-point specialist, Sam Hauser, coach, is now cranking up the defense.
Yeah, look, Kevin, you can come into the league and maybe carve out a niche with just one skill. But usually what you have to do is take that one skill and build on it so that you can be a consistent rotation player. Sam Hauser has done that, and as you said, he's added the defense to his shooting ability.
And now look at the numbers for Edwards. He showed up every night and some noteworthy performances over the last month. He's getting around 16 points a game, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And with his skill set on the offensive end, he is such a threat on the floor.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that makes life easier for his teammates. He demands so much defensive attention.
Chris Paul's checked in for Minnesota. He doesn't get the second one. And it's Paul with the ball for the Timberwolves. There's 37 seconds left in the third. And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. Celtics trail by 20. Here's Walsh. 9 points in the game so far. Boston needs to get off a shot. Garza, no good. Ball looking over the floor. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Minnesota closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. And a look at the five for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. And Fernie Simons out there with Peyton Pritchard. And it's Minot in at the fourth. Now, here's Ball. Will stand one expression you hear, foul baiting. Players using sneaky tricks to draw a foul.
Yeah, look, Kevin, I'm not a huge fan of that, of guys developing that as a skill. But I will say this. It only works against undisciplined defense. If defense has the discipline to stay solid and fundamental, then you're not going to get baited into those things, and a lot of times those foul baiters end up taking bad shots. Great to see Lonzo take flight.
The Celtics shooting around 40% from the floor here. Down low, here's Walsh. It's tipped. Pritchard from outside. He can't get that one.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
To the middle. It's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Back to Pritchard. And Simons wide open. He'll fire. Knocks down the three ball.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Pritchard passes to Simons. For the three. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
Well, it's been a frustrating night for him at the offensive end. Just not able to give them any kind of a lift.
Inside. And it's Bagley that time on the assist from Randall. Randall's got 3 assists in the game. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Pritchard with the screen on Ellis. Three-pointer, Simon. Off target is 6th miss and 13 attempts from the floor. For Minnesota, they've gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. To the inside. He's still up. Now he is 9 of 10.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
Yeah, but you can't let up now. We've seen too many wild comebacks in this league.
Timeout called the Celtics. He's checked in for the Celtics. Pritchard with the ball. There's the screen. Outside, Simons cranes the three-pointer. Simons has got 20 points.
And with that three, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Pritchard against Paul. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here.
It will be a jump ball.
It's Miller on the wing. The three. It's rebounded by Walsh. Boston's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Simons from outside. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Tatum's got 6 assists here tonight. Now here's Paul to the paint. Shots good by Miller.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Boston. Outside, Simons. GA, just when you think you've seen it all. Past season, a father and son playing as teammates. NBA history continues to be made with the Jameses.
Yeah, LeBron and Bronny James taking the court together. And if other players can emulate the longevity of LeBron, perhaps it won't be the last time we see it happen.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
For Boston, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. The three from Tatum buries the long-range jumper.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Timberwolves leading by 22. And here is Paul to the inside. Berenger laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Berenger's got 4 this quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Pass to Tatum. Here's Pritchard. 5 to shoot. And again, Boston with the triple.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He has decided it's the right time to talk. Breaking the action. Let's take a look at our player of the game.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
And they were in danger of losing back-to-back games before he stepped to the forefront here tonight. This was not a game he was going to let get away from him. Here's DiVincenzo. And we've seen teams make surprising playoff runs only to falter the next year. Team trajectories not always a straight line, clearly.
No, absolutely, Kevin. I would think in most cases it's not a straight line. Because, look, the other teams are all trying to win, too. That's what makes things different. So you might be slightly off the next year and someone else makes a big jump, and then it looks like your decline is a lot bigger than it is. Every year is a new year.
Inside, here's Gonzalez, and he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Well, that's a smart pass in close quarters.
Reed with a screen on White. Randall finds DiVincenzo. Six on the shot clock, and they're moving it up. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up. Oh, it'll be Peyton Pritchard shooting. Julius Randle picks one up. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Well, their passing has been just exceptional, and it's opened up the floor for them on numerous occasions.
And also, got to be impressed with their interior play, getting in the paint and figuring out ways to score.
That free throw good from Pritchard. It's an 18-point game. Now Randall. Reed. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall. Randall's got 5 assists in the game.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Now here's White. To the middle. Here's Tatum. He finishes with a one-handed dunk.
Great find. Leading his teammate right to the bucket.
Timberwolves leading by 18. Picked by Reed. Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Right there, Edwards uses the screen to create the space he needs.
And the Celtics with possession here. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter. And here's Tatum for 3. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Randall. Here's White. They set the pick. The 3. Reed with the rebound. Reed's got 9 rebounds now tonight. There's a minute 34 left to play here in the fourth. Oh, my goodness! What a play!
Well, that was unbelievable. Not many guys can do what Ant-Man just did.
And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
Here's DiVincenzo. Wants to get it to Tatum and does. And a fast break now for the Celtics. And yeah, it's good.
Look, Tatum draws so much attention. Someone's bound to be open.
There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Reed in, and his hot hand continues. 10 of 11 from the floor and looking for more.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
Now here's White. Down low. Stolen by Reed. Here is Edwards. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Here with Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan. Signing off for this presentation of NBA basketball. Now it's time for our player of the game.